Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tech Talk Thursday. It's that time again. It's that time of year where the nights are drawing in. Summer is a distant memory. I remember summer. It was very nice. But here we are in September, and we are already a few months to Christmas, but we're not going to talk about that today. Today, we have a very special guest host. Said will be joining us in a moment. Martin is on holiday, sunning himself, if that's a word, somewhere in sunny Edinburgh. And today we're going to be talking about stuff. Let me just check something a second. Oh yeah. We're going to be talking about stuff for free in terms of setting up your first live stream, workshop, webinar. If you just want to go live to YouTube, if you want to do some recording on YouTube, there's lots and lots of free tools out there that you can start off with to start your live streaming journey. Both Said and I have started from nothing and built up our sort of followings and our workshops and things like that. So I'm going to be talking to Said about sort of where he started, some of the great free tools he uses. I'll be talking about some of the things that I've been playing with as well and where I started my journey. And it's just going to be a fun, relaxed conversation today. And we've got a few people already in the house. But first off, I will see if Said is ready with a thumbs up from the green room. He's ready to go. Let's bring him on. Said, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey Neil, thanks for having me. Third time is a charm, I think. So,
Third time's a charm, absolutely.
Thanks a lot, Martin, for not being here. You just opened a lot of doors for me to get into the live streaming game. So
there you go.
Thanks for your absence.
And and if Said does a great job tonight, which I'm sure he will, then Martin, we may have to talk about renegotiating that contract.
Yeah. That was the whole plan for today. But shout out to Martin McKenna, of course. And it's 17 degrees Celsius in Edinburgh. I don't know. I just looked it up. So.
Really? Oh dear. Oh dear.
I'm working on the accent.
I should have a little ticker going at the bottom saying, oh dear, it's this temperature. Poor Martin. Well, I'm hoping it's not raining for him. That's the thing. I know he's spending a week away with family, so hopefully he's having a wonderful time. Let's get to the comments first. There's a few people joined us already. So let's have a see. Hello, Tatiana. Congratulations on your recent wedding. I saw the photographs on Instagram. Looked like it had a wonderful time. Hope all is well with you and you've started back school as well. So hope you had a restful summer, nice honeymoon and back to it. So thank you for joining us. And we've got Eden as well. Hello, Eden. Thanks for joining us. I still owe you a video. I'm playing around with the new version of Camo for Studio for the iPad. I've also been playing with Camo Studio as well. So lots of things going on at the moment. So and that's one of the tools I'll be talking about in a little bit. So today we're going to have a little relaxed chat and chill about stuff that we could potentially do all this for 100% free if we can. So we've got to start somewhere though, Said. So let's talk a little bit about our journeys and how we started getting into this live streaming thing. I'll start with you first. So if you could just give us a little bit of sort of history of where you got into the facilitation, doing these types of projects that you do and getting in front of the camera. Was that a thing that spawned out of COVID or was that something that you had to do for your job originally?
I started out in a small garage. Just kidding. This is how
like the Apple story.
Yeah, exactly. If you didn't start out in the garage, I mean, who cares about your story? So always add that. But kidding aside, so yes, it was actually during COVID. When you're at home, we are forced to do things online. I mean, we did them like from the office too. I remember Skype was a thing, and I remember whatever the messenger before that was a thing, but it was more for replacing the hard phone, right? Nobody ever turned on their cameras. It was not a thing. You can just walk over to somebody and meet them in person. But when the pandemic hit, I think we all had to figure out, okay, how does this whole tech stuff work? Even if you are like experienced and a little geek, it's still a little bit, or can be a little bit challenging. And for me, I just got bored really, really quick and tried to find ways how can I make this whole thing a little bit more fun for myself. And what else is there beyond, you can bleep this part, Microsoft Teams, other tools, other ways. I have 24 hours of time and nowhere to go. And I discovered like some OBS Studio, which was like really game changing until today. I mean, use whatever tool you like. It's more about the concept. Oh, I can have like this middleman that I can use. I can add like graphics and stuff. Oh, that's cool. And there are filters and things. And then you start getting geeky if your brain works that way. Go down the rabbit hole. What else is there? Oh, Stream Deck. So I can push buttons because I'm super lazy to push buttons on my keyboard. I will push them on another keyboard. But still, everything that keeps your brain like busy and a little bit distracted was very, very welcome. And I stuck to it. And then, of course, adding the concept is not only about the tech. Okay, what do I talk about? What do people care? I mean, you can look great in camera. You can have all the animations you like. And then you will look like a website from the 90s. Like everything is blinking, but there is no content at all or no value. So that shouldn't be the goal. And I'm sorry. And I found like my little niche in, first of all, talking about the geeky things, talking about the tools that I use that I'm passionate about, the ones that I already mentioned. And then in general, okay, I've maybe not discovered, but maybe I found a way how to do this online workshops and trainings in a more engaging way, like just compared to how I did them before, and realize, there's an audience for that. There are other people who are also having the same trouble, but maybe not the time or not the passion to go down this rabbit hole and find all these tools and find all these plugins and find all these ways you can do things. So yeah, and from there on, fast forward, I don't know, 5 years now or 6 years, here we are live on the interwebs talking about it.
I know, it's crazy, right? Similar sort of journey for me in terms of having to do more Zoom calls. The company I worked for at the time is an IT company, so obviously everything was shut down. And in terms of the getting online and using Zoom, so there was Zoom, Teams, WebEx, Google Meet, whatever the customers at the time wanted to join on these calls. And Zoom had a bit of a, not the best reputation during COVID, because obviously there was a bit of Zoom bombing going on and a few things that were going on with it, because obviously Zoom had gone from, I guess, a small company with a few users to, pandemics happened, everybody has to get online, everybody has to keep working, and Zoom seemed to be the sort of the obvious choice for people. So for me, it was a similar thing. And my company, we're looking at, well, here's the types of things you should be using. Now, unfortunately, I had a history already of audio and video production and things, but for people who are in sales, in the marketing, just wanted to sort of do their day-to-day work and collaborate with team members, it was quite an overwhelming thing. Like, well, what camera do I need to get? And is this microphone okay? And the laptop cameras weren't great. And, you had the usual thing, people looking at people's noses and stuff. And people just weren't prepared, I don't think, for this type of setup. It's quite unnatural to sort of look into a camera and speak to somebody across the airwaves and not have anybody else in the room. It's a little bit daunting. And then you've got home life. So people had to work at home with kids, and it's a lot. There's a lot going on. And I think, as you mentioned, looking now sort of 5 years, fast forward to 5 years, and here we are talking about this stuff, and it's a little bit more natural. There are still people in that position. Oh, and he's got a little bit dark. There you go. There's still it's the lighting.
Speaking about pushing buttons for no reason, I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, it's okay. Now people are in a similar position where people are retiring. People are sort of getting to a point where they have lots of great things to say. As you said, the messaging is there, and it's the reverse, right? So the messaging is there. People have lots of things that they want to talk about, maybe demonstrate stuff and do stuff on the internet. But where do they start? Like, okay, there's so many millions of cameras out there, so many lights. What if I want to get something up and running, and if I'm on a strict budget, all I've got is a laptop? Where do I start? So, yeah, where do people start, Said? If people was coming to you today and saying, okay, I've got a new sort of idea, I want to go live, I want to sort of start doing some facilitation, or I want to do stuff online, what should I get? What sort of advice would you give them? And I'll give you my thoughts in a second.
First of all, why do you want to get something? I mean, this is just a weird concept of,
No.
oh, I need to get stuff. You said a laptop. Yeah, it comes with an integrated camera. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying there is a camera already in that thing, and you have at least like 5 microphones. I mean, you have like earbuds, you have your over-ear headphones, you have a microphone in the thing itself, or I don't know, an old headset from you forgot about. So I'm just saying there are things that are already there. You shouldn't be thinking, oh, first I need a shopping list before I do anything here, right? Just more of look around, see what you already have and what is good enough to do the job you want to do. Of course, if you have like an internal camera that from an old laptop that doesn't get you far, yeah, maybe you should consider like an upgrade or borrow something from a friend if you have one of these. The same for the microphone. Yeah, probably that's the one you should start with because I mean a camera, there is a lot you can do with like a 720p camera. If it's in your laptop, or most laptops nowadays they have even like a 1080p. Because if you think about it, I'm sending my camera like I'm doing right now through Zoom, and there's already a limitation of how much it can process. So even if I have a 4K camera, it wouldn't make any big difference because Zoom can only handle, depending on the plan, 720p. So what's the point of getting the most? It's like, where is it? Is it Bahrain or where? We have a Lamborghini, but you can only drive like 120 on the highway. So what's the point of getting this expensive car, right? So there's that, but I think a microphone is a great investment because the internal one is always like crappy because you don't even know where it is. If I would ask you, please point to your microphone on your laptop, you don't know where it is. It's a little hole somewhere. It's on the side or in the middle, or where you put your palms on the keyboard, or you're covering it, or you're typing while the thing is trying to catch your voice. And just because the cool kids have like a big yellow microphone with a sticker on it, that's a shameless plug, doesn't mean you have to get like the latest model. Every microphone you can get out there, this is just unpopular opinion, everything you can get out there is still better than your internal mic. It doesn't matter what it is. Just because you can position it where you like, regardless of the notebook. And yeah, it is actually made for picking up your voice, right? You have a long cable, you put it on a stand somewhere, and you can position your camera and your display and your microphone separately, which gives you a lot of flexibility. So I don't have to, I don't know, if I push away my notebook so I'm in frame, and I also push away the microphone, right? Which makes things like a little bit weird regarding the quality. So yeah, whatever your question was, the answer is start with a microphone if you're talking about hardware. Yeah, and for optics, yeah, I think even before thinking about the camera is, what do I do with my lights?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have them? I need to let some light in, and you will see, oh, the camera I have looks better when I have the lights on. Haha, right? It doesn't work that good in darkness. And then you can see, okay, now I'm hitting the edge of what I consider quality, and I will think about an upgrade. And I'm pretty sure you have a lot of like nice recommendations for cameras that you can get under 100, like let's say euros or dollars or somewhere around that. I really like, which I always recommend, the Meet 2, which is very affordable. Logitech Brio, or the first generation face cam from Elgato with 1080p, also a nice choice.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of there, and you're absolutely right about audio. The last webinar we did talked about audio and camera settings, so we're not going to go into all the audio cameras and audio microphone choices and things like that. But a $15 lavalier microphone that's wired, that plugs into your laptop, is more than adequate. There you go.
I was just thinking when the pandemic started. No, I was also watching like the YouTubers, and they all had like a mic, and oh, I want to look cool on camera too. And I got this one. It's Ma Ono something, I think. It came with the boom arm and another thing for, I don't know, 40 euros or so, which is uh, roughly the same in dollar.
Yeah, crazy
And
cheap. Yeah.
with the pop filter, oh my God, I feel so much better. It's way better than the thing. And it's $40. And I still have it just in case I need a second microphone. But I started with this one for $40, and I had it for 1.5 years. And okay, now I have a little bit of budget, and now I understand how audio works to begin with. And yeah, I want to go to the next level, and yeah, I will invest.
Yeah, absolutely.
A three-figure amount.
And I agree. There's lots of cheap cameras out there. And we'll put some description in the YouTube description at some point and just give you some links and things. But you know, just start with your phone. I still have an iPhone 13. I haven't upgraded. The battery's still fine, and just using this with the microphone even on here, because these phones are pretty good. I think the Android phones are really good as well with the microphones. In fact, a lot of these phones now have multiple microphones on them. So if you just want to get started, particularly if you're just doing Zoom calls or Google Meet, and we'll talk about some of those things later as well, just use what you have available to you. You don't have to get all this really crazy expensive equipment to get started, because at the end of the day, you're going to be learning more about the tech and how to go live and how Zoom works and how to just get, you know, the flow of your conversation going and whatever you're presenting down. So if you can sort of minimize the amount of tech that you've got in your hands that you have to play with and worry about, like we have buttons everywhere, but you know, we're used to that now. But still, things go wrong, as you've seen today. So, you know, I'm going to be pressing a wrong button very soon. You can tell. Let's go to a few comments quickly, and then I'll come back to you. So Eden has said, goodness me, so many comments. Let me just go back. So first of all, she said there was a webcam shortage for a while. Yeah, I think, was it the Logitech C90 that everybody in the world thought that was the only camera that you could use for Zoom? I'm convinced somebody in Zoom or somebody on the internet said, the only camera that you can use is the Logitech C90, so you have to get that. Boom. I think it's somebody who worked for Logitech.
I had two of them because I could take them away from the office. You know, when we were all sent home, I had like two somewhere in my drawer. And I think for that time, it was the best you could get. And 4K cameras weren't a thing. And the C920, I think, is the model. Yeah, it has an awesome quality. Still today, I mean, it's still full HD if you work on the settings a little bit with, you know, color temperature and other things. Yeah. You can get a very decent quality out of it. So nothing wrong with it. I still have it just in case I need like a second angle or desk camera, or never throw away things.
No, there's no need to. Tatiana said the same thing. She remembers the webcam shortage, but she thankfully had a Logitech C920 as well. Eden is loving your mic. The yellow mic is fire. It is indeed. And Eden also mentions that her lights turn off randomly in the evening. Yes, I've got, I can't say the A word because she'll start talking to me, but I use A with an automatic routine to turn off some of the lights in the house as well. So, you know, that happens at around sort of 11 o'clock, and then the whole thing goes dark and shuts down. It's like, it's time for bed. It's too late. So there you go. That's what I typically use. And thanks for people who are joining me on Substack. And if you are joining me on Substack, it's going to look a bit awkward if the phone's in this orientation. So just do that. And you'll see us in beautiful landscape and look at the beautiful quality. And hopefully you'll be able to see us both clearly. So that's audio and cameras. Anything else to mention about audio and cameras? Because I do love your mic as well. Is that a wrapper that you've got on the mic, by the way? Is that a custom sort of wrapper that you've put on? Or is that one that you can get from Colorware and buy that?
You can get something like this from Colorware, but it involves like payments. And because I'm a geek again, I already had the mic and I saw it somewhere. So, oh, this is yellow or green mic. This person that I have the same one, and I started looking up and then watching like 5 or 6 YouTube videos, and it's carbon car foil for $6 or so, because I don't need much. I unscrewed it, took me like half an hour. It was my first try, and I think it looks good enough. And even you cannot see it, the arm is also, the boom arm also has like some yellow elements. And why not adding a little bit of touch, and the yellow matches my brand a little bit.
Yes, and we mentioned before.
Small things.
Small thing, yeah. And we've mentioned before, you know, you are definitely on brand. So yeah, it's all good. So let's just see. we have another comment from Tatiana. Question: if you could only have 2 items with you for streaming, presenting besides your computer and camera, lighting and mic, what would you guys choose? That's a great question.
I go first. My head and my headphones. I don't care about anything else, but I'm too old to like care about my hair before like a session. So there's that, and I really love my headphones. It's less about you, but I personally really like them because it removes like distraction.
Yeah.
ANC, so it helps me to focus on the thing I'm doing. So yeah, a little bit egocentric here, but
No.
if it's only 2 things, yeah, what's the point of having like an awesome camera if I can hear like the neighbors yelling the whole day?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, distraction is not great, especially when you're being on a live stream. I would say the same thing. So these headphones, these were like $25. Again, you don't have to spend a fortune. These are just in-ear headphones. I'm not a massive fan of in-ear headphones. I have a pair of over-the-ear headphones, and I was actually going to put my baseball cap on and do a Said tonight, but I couldn't find the other lead for them. So next time I'll do that, and we'll be. I'm all dark. See, all my stuff is sort of grey and black, just like my mood and my hair. So basically that's how I roll. That's my branding. The other thing I would take with me, I think, is if I'm doing presentation things, I'd still like the Stream Deck. I still would take the Stream Deck Nano or something like that. Even the virtual Stream Deck would work fine for me. But having something available where I can press a few buttons, because I don't really like keyboard shortcuts. I don't know what your feeling is about that, Said. Are you a keyboard shortcut type of guy, or do you prefer sort of physical buttons to press?
So it depends. So I have 2 Stream Decks because I like the haptic, and it's a nice detail on the desk. Again, it's not a must-have, but it's a geeky thing, and I like it. But it only makes sense when it saves me time. I wouldn't set up a button that does Control C, like for copy something. I mean, yeah, I can just
you can
press
do
it
that
on the keyboard. What's the point of it? There's also over automation, so that doesn't make sense. But I can combine something. That's nice, which saves me like a few seconds, and it has a nice icon that tells me what this button does. Next scene, microphone off or whatever. And there are certain things you cannot do with a keyboard, at least. Yeah, you have to remember all the shortcuts. So I don't know, lights on, lights off, do other things. Yeah, I'll rather do them on my Stream Deck.
Yes, I'm with you. Stream Deck for the win. So we've talked about cameras. We've talked about audio, lighting. Ring lights, they were the big thing back in COVID days, right? Everybody was buying ring lights because you saw a lot of, YouTubers and people that were doing all kinds of that type of stuff had the big ring lights. And again, I think there was a shortage of those for a while. Even I bought a ring light, and I should know better because I have a little bit of a sort of a filmmaking and audio background. But at the time, I needed a light, and it was the cheapest thing I could find, and it was available. So why not? And it wasn't an LED one either. It was an actual fluorescent tube one. So it was like on or off. It wasn't very good in terms of controls. I don't know what you had for your first light, or did you just use the sun?
I can tell you, of course, we all started with the sun because it's out there, it's for free. And like we discussed in the green room before, someone decides, okay, let's text the sun or limit the usage or something. But the first like lights I bought on purpose was also, okay, this is video lights. Newer something. It's like really small panels. 2 of them, $35 or so, and they came like with little stands that I can put on my desk. And I felt like, oh my god, this is Mr. Beast mode. Oh my, I have 2 separate lights on my desk. Oh my, I'm so awesome. Yeah, it's funny when I look back at it. Yeah, but it was a huge upgrade to whatever I had before. I just had the ceiling light, and then I figured, oh, okay, it makes me even darker if I just have a light that shines on top of me rather than in my face. So I wouldn't buy them again because I'm just used to the huge panels of my Elgato light. But it was a huge always like remembering, okay, where do I come from? Right? Okay, I was in this situation, and if I add these cheap lights, it will look 5 times better. That's awesome. And then a year to whenever I can afford it later. And now let's actually look what is out there I want like a soft, what is it, softbox thingy or a real video light or anything else. And these in the background, I still have them from COVID, LED bars. Again, you take the cheapest you can get, unless they flicker or something, but look for LED bars on eBay, on Amazon or eBay or elsewhere to add just a little bit of atmosphere, and it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And you haven't spent that much money. However, I mean, you also have like lights at home, hopefully.
Yes.
I mean,
Practical
there is
lights.
lights. Yeah, you have practical lights, or in the living room, the one like a standing light or something like this, or in the children's room or something. Okay, I can borrow that, or I can take my nightstand lamp for the 1 hour I'm streaming, and then I put it back afterwards. So that also, I don't need to have like my fixed studio like for my very first stream or my very first online workshop. You will figure things out along the way. Just like walk around the house and just unplug lights and put them in your little setup and see what works and see what doesn't.
I think that's the thing. You've got to experiment, especially if you're on a budget. And one tip as well for using window light is obviously if you don't want the window light to be behind you, because that's going to create a silhouette. So you want to have the window light facing you. But you can also get yourself a large white piece of cardboard and use it as a reflector. And they're really useful as well, because you can bounce the light around the room a little bit. So you can bounce the light off the sort of the window light and bounce it somewhere else. So even just if you've got only just one light that you can afford, then you can use that reflector to bounce the light again somewhere else to give you maybe a little bit of extra light somewhere to fill in maybe the shadow or something else. But at the end of the day, a lot of the time back in COVID days, it was just laptop cameras, headphones. People were used to it. And just a point, what you mentioned before, one of the things that really did irritate me is you'd be on a Zoom call and everybody would have their mic unmuted, and obviously somebody's typing, and they're not typing, they're like killing the laptop because they're hitting the keys so loud, and all you can hear is like, what is that noise? Like, what is wrong with you? Please mute.
Oh no,
right?
there's this phrase like, oh, you're typing like your keyboard is owing you money. So no, it's very aggressive. So, oh, okay.
Yeah, incredibly aggressive. That always made me chuckle. I'm like, please, can you mute? Because you know, it's really not. Is it just distracting? But it's quite jarring because you're in the middle of a conversation and you hear this. You're like, oh, what is that? Is somebody being murdered? Please turn that microphone off. But there you go.
But that's also like what we discussed before. I mean, that probably you are working on a laptop, and the mic is just underneath your keyboard. Yeah, you don't have any other chance. But if you have at least a separate microphone, even if you're typing, it will be maybe behind the microphone, so it doesn't pick up everything. So you can be as aggressive as you like. It doesn't like disturb the people that much. And I was just I find it funny, like when you mentioned the ring light. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. Of course, whatever makes you happy, and seriously, whatever you have, like it's always a great start. But when I see people using like ring lights, okay, when will he or she like start putting makeup on? You know, that's like this YouTube makeup tutorial thing with a little ring around their iris. And, okay, I'm super distracted just by the light.
I know, because it's in their eyes, right? And it's not good if you've got glasses, because you see this ring around your glasses. It's like, no, it's not good. It's not good. So
that is on top.
If somebody wants to start online meetings for as cheaply as possible, and let's say free, because that's your favorite F word, as we've mentioned before, where should people start? Because there are some options, right? Now, obviously, back in the day, there was WebEx and Teams and Zoom and Google Meet and Skype and so on. So if somebody wants to start bringing people on to their webinar for free right now, where, in your opinion, should people start? What choices do they have?
I think Google Meet is a great starting point. If you have a YouTube or a Google account, I mean, everything is connected nowadays. You automatically also have a Google Meet account. You don't even need to. You have it. You don't even know it. Right? Or if you have Gmail, it's already in there. I'm not using it that much anymore, so really rarely. But however, from what I learned, I think they even like upgraded the camera quality to by default to 720p or to 1080p even. So okay, that's nice if you're using something like OBS or Ecamm and having overlays and text on your camera. and it's totally free. You don't even need to install anything, and it's easy to join, which is also like a factor. There is not much. There is not much. It's not distracting, which I find. So even for your audience, if you have like 1,000 things going on and buttons, depends on what kind of workshop you do. If you have like 30 minutes for a workshop or for a training, and you need like 12 minutes to figure out where the chat button is and what all the other buttons do, that will not be very beneficial for you and the delivery of your message or for your facilitating the workshop. So often it's like, yeah, keep it simple. And again, what you already have, and you have it probably not even knowing. And otherwise, I would just go for Zoom. And it's totally, yeah, there is time limit of 45 minutes. I think they all kind of have like time limits, but it's not about getting everything for free, but being just conscious about your budget. If I only have this $50 per month, I would like to invest. Yeah, then I don't know what it is nowadays, but you can $10 plus minus a little bit for the smallest plan. Yeah, you can invest in that, and because you are using it every day, I mean, a software you use every day and that adds benefit to your life. Yeah, sure, why not? Why not investing in it? Because just the foundation of everything you do is like a video conferencing platform. So yeah, but you don't need like the extra plan for 500 people just in case. You wait until you have 500 people, and then you can think about, yeah, can I upgrade it somehow, or do I need all these AI features that I get in the more expensive plan, or do I need this automation? No, you need to plug in your camera, plug in your microphone, and maybe do a little bit of screen sharing or be able to share your virtual camera, and you can get this with the lowest plan of every video conferencing tool out there.
Yeah, and I think there's so many available, but I would be like you. I think I'd start with Google Meet, because if you are running webinars that are longer than 45 minutes, then you can't use Zoom unless you're paying for it. Zoom isn't expensive anyway, realistically, if you are using it every day. But I think Google Meet is a great option. I even think you mentioned before, Teams is free as well, right? I don't think there's a time limit on Microsoft Teams as well, and they do give you some features and stuff.
But you pay with sanity, so
well, there is that.
It's a trade-off.
It definitely is a trade-off.
I really don't know. For me, I'm not even joking. I'm more thinking about how can I get rid of it, because it's very hard to uninstall and get it like from your PC and not having it integrated everywhere. And yeah. But if you have like one of these, I think if you have like Office, what is it called nowadays? Office 365 or Windows or Microsoft 365.
Yeah.
I think it is a part of it, but yeah.
If
you have it, why not using it?
Exactly.
If it's already like part of a suite or part of a bigger plan you already have.
And for me, I just wanted to mention, so to make sort of your cameras look better, because I know there's a lot of software out there that you can use, and one particular piece of software that I like to use and recommend for other people, and there's quite a few customers that I've recommended to recently, is Camo Studio, and that's available for Windows and Mac. And I'll just quickly share Camo if I can get this to come up here a second. So this is actually another camera that I'm using. This is the Obsbot Tiny 2 Lite, which is a very inexpensive webcam. It's a PTZ webcam. It's a little bit more expensive than the Meet 2. I think it's like $120, but the Meet 2 would give you a very similar looking quality. And with Camo Studio, you can just download it for Windows and for Mac. It gives you this wonderful interface. I have mentioned it before, but you can get really nice sort of blurry background if you want. You can change that. You can change all the colors, change the white balance of you as well. Oops, you got a little bit orange there. But you can basically tweak and change these, because some cameras, some cheaper webcams don't give you any option to change the white balance or any of the nice sort of saturation, or even just make things look a little bit better in spotlight mode, where you can get a little bit of a fake blurry background without having it too ridiculous like you see in Zoom and things like that. So if you use something like Camo Studio, then for free, because we are talking about free software today on a budget particularly, then go ahead and do that. And you can even actually record directly in here as well. And the good thing about Camo Studio is it can be used as a virtual camera. So whatever you do and however you set up your image in Camo Studio, you can then output that into Microsoft Teams, heaven forbid, Google Meet, or Zoom or anything like that. So thoroughly recommend Camo Studio. Go over to reincubate.com and download your copy, but it's a great piece of software. And a lot of people don't actually know about it and think, oh, this is great. This is what I wanted. I want to be able to tweak my camera, but I just didn't want to have to pay an expensive camera and stuff. So there you go.
Last one from me, and shout out to I was about to say the guys from Camo, but it's only Eden. So shout out to Eden.
Exactly.
For awesome product. And sometimes I ask myself, how do you survive? You're giving away like this for free, and I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying, I don't know how you survive, because I personally have everything in Camo in the free version that I need for my purposes. I'm not a live streamer, but yeah, I can beautify my camera a little bit. I can tweak, as you said, like small things. If I want a small overlay, and I always recommend it to people who say, oh yeah, I get all your OBS and ECam, and I don't know what things, but I just want to add a logo to my camera. Everything else is off. Yeah, then check out Camo definitely. And just closing the loop to, I mean, if you have a camera already, like a hardware camera, try to get the best out of it. As I said, maybe it just looks like awful because first of all the light, and then you set, there's one default setting that you have turned on or off, or there's something on auto. But if you fine tune it a little bit to match like the temperature of your actual lights in the room and other small things, and zoom in and crop it a little bit so that you are centered, and do the other small thing, then you can get the best out of your camera with a free software. Or alternatively, please look if there is like a tool or an app for your camera, like Logitech Logitune. If you have an Elgato, there is the Elgato Camera Hub, and so forth and so forth. Or there are tools that help you just to do the small adjustment and see, or if I change the settings a little bit, maybe it looks better or not that off anymore. And one last thing, because you mentioned Camo, is you want a free camera? Yeah, that is super awesome. Forget about fine-tuning your camera you have, but using your phone as a full HD or even 4K camera or webcam. Just open Camo, scan the QR code, and then you can use your phone. All you need is put it on a few books if you don't have a stand, or get yourself, I think, again, in the $1 store, like a smartphone stand, or try to have it like stable for the moment, and you have a better video quality than your internal camera of your MacBook or notebook can ever generate, and even better than some other USB cameras. Yeah, that's a reason why we don't use photo cameras anymore, because we have so powerful phones. At least one. You have at least one phone, and you have the old one that you have from last year or before you upgraded your phone. It's somewhere good enough.
As I said, I still use my old phone. I'll just quickly show the people here. So if I go to, I've just connected my iPhone. So this is my iPhone connected to Camo Studio. You can see Said at the back there. And again with a lower third. So with Camo Studio, it took me like 1 second to connect this phone. I mean, it looks really good. This is an iPhone 13. I haven't tweaked the image. I haven't done anything there, but this is good enough, if not miles better than any sort of webcam you would get on your laptop camera. And again, we're doing this all for free, and you got the lower third down here as well for LinkedIn, and you can change that and stuff. So yeah, I don't know how Camo do it as well, but I'm grateful that they do, because it gives us lots of things to talk about and recommend to other people as well.
We are just worried about Eden, so please charge us for this, so that
yes, donations, just hit the button down below and so on. And Eden said, I did my Camo interview by holding up my phone with 5 books. Wow, that's impressive.
No, I have to buy 5 books.
Yeah, you have to have 5 books. Or borrow books from people. Those textbooks are a thing of the past now, because AI is just going to... Anyway, that's another show altogether. So we've spoke a little bit about cameras, lighting, audio, and so on, and obviously conferencing stuff. But There's also other tools out there, productivity tools, tools for help with facilitation, with presentations and things like that. Talk to us a little bit about some of your top tools that you use on a daily basis that you love and that you've sort of worked with now for quite a while.
Yeah, of course, no, I'm spoiled a little bit because I'm further in my journey. So of course, I pay for things that I like where I see the benefit. I just want to make clear, I just don't, yeah, let me pay for this and then figure out how it can help me. That's no, right? But if there's actually some, oh, I use this daily or weekly and it saves me time and makes me like, help me like create more engaging experiences. And yeah, of course, I pay for software. This was just a disclaimer. Again, just more in general, if you have a Google account, you have like if you need a slideshow, you have I forgot the name. What Google Slides, I think is the name.
Google Slides,
yeah, right on the nose. And then you have a Google Excel thingy, Google Tables, or whatever it's called, right? Yeah, Google Sheets. Thanks a lot. And you have the Note app that is also in Google, so you don't need to pay for Todoist or whatever they're called, or a Kanban thing. Everything's already there. They are synced with your phone if you have also a Google phone and a Google account, which is a great thing. You already either paid for it or it's already there for free. So if you do like this one slide once in a month, yeah, why should you like even try to get involved in PowerPoint and other tools? It's good enough for that what you want to do. However, so one of my favorite tools that I started also during the pandemic is Miro, and Miro is a virtual collaboration tool. Nowadays, even if you want to do things in person or hybrid, it comes with a phone app, and it's also on the desktop app and works in the browser, which is great for collaboration for a workshop or a training. You know, usually what people do is, oh, you can put like virtual sticky notes and brainstorm things and cluster things and etc. But we've come a long ways in the last, I say we, I don't have any shares. They have come a long way in the past years or since the pandemic. There's so many integrations. I mean, you can integrate like all the Google documents I talked about before, or it has an integration for Adobe Photoshop, and I don't know, you can create tables in it, you can create images, it has AI features and many more. And there's always a free plan, so you can start out for free. There's a limit of, you can only have like 3 public boards, or boards you can actually share with other people. But that's good enough. That will, I mean, for the first month when I try to figure out how this tool works, is it the right fit for me? That's good enough. And once you decide, oh, no, I want to go wild, or I need it for my business, yeah, then it's $8, I think, for the smallest plan. Totally worth it if you use it daily. I said it's a collaboration tool, but for myself, I like it to brainstorm with myself. I know I need friends, but still, you know, organize myself. If I think about a concept, okay, and then I open one of these boards, put all, like a mood board or something, put all the ideas I have like wildly on the board, draw lines, add documents, add resources, add links, and then I have this one space or one frame where I can like sort out everything. Maybe compared to Notion, but more visual would be maybe something. Just one space where I can throw in all kind of media and all kind of things. And that's the one they have a huge community. I think the last number I heard, if you're not from this space, but 70 million users worldwide, which is wow. It's not like a small company or anything. So yeah, try it out. Google Miro.com, sign up for a free account, and see if you can do anything with it.
Yeah, definitely. I think, I mean, I've joined one of your presentations and seen some of your presentations on Miro, and it's really is engaging. It's a very different way of presenting, and I just love all the sort of the workflows that you can set in there. And I just, it's like, it's not lights out yet. It's not lights out yet. But anyway, it's so funny. I don't know what happens. So funny story. So I have a pedal underneath my desk that I use for advancing slides and things like that, or advancing scenes and so on. And one day I'd forgotten that I'd actually put the middle pedal, because it's got 3. The middle pedal is very small, and I always operate my pedal in socks, I accidentally pressed the middle pedal, which is the mute. I didn't see me on mute, so I was talking for a good 10 minutes because there was nobody else on the show. But that's fine. There was nobody join me anyway, so I was just talking to myself as usual. So nothing.
That's super funny, Neil. Now that you mentioned it. Oh, you asked me about keyboard shortcuts and Stream Deck and stuff earlier. I just want to share a quick anecdote because it made me laugh. I remember when I started using OBS Studio, and I can add sound effects in there, and I can assign a keyboard hotkey to them before I had the Stream Deck. And I did it, and I forgot that I just randomly used the space key for a bell or something. Right, and then I have OBS open, and I'm in the middle of meetings, and I start typing, and then bing, bing, bing. What is this? What is with my PC? I tried to uninstall things, change settings. No. It was me. Every time I hit a space after a word, I could just hear this one sound effect in my ears. So, oh my God. But I've evolved since then, so now I'm using a Stream Deck and just accidentally hit it every 3 minutes and turn off my lights. So
that's okay.
That is that.
It's easily done. A few more comments for us here. So Stefan has joined us. Hey, Stefan, thank you so much, and very kind of you to say so. But thank you for joining, and you are here. Wonderful. And Tatiana said, yes, I remember you telling me the story about the socks and pedals. It's the only way to keep it nice and quiet. Before we dive into other software, John has a quick question. Would you recommend using his iPhone Pro 16 Max over Logitech Brio? Now, John uses Camo, and he mentioned in a previous comment that Camo is, one that he uses with his Logitech Brio. I would say that you would get a better image, personally, out of the iPhone 16 Pro, and I would just try them. Take a screenshot, because you use Ecamm. Just take a screenshot of you with the Brio and the iPhone Protein Max. That's a new one. That's a new iPhone Protein Max. The iPhone 16 Pro Max. Play around with Camo to get the best settings out of it. But I think personally the 16 would be better. What do you think, Said?
So I'm not an iPhone user, but just my gut feeling was I also think the quality would be better. But the trade-off is, I mean, you need the phone, right? So is it your actual phone you're using? If you have to put it out of your pocket, turn off all the notifications, put it somewhere where it's maybe in a different angle every time, and although it's a small step, okay, I have to connect it. It just for convenience, and okay, I want to go live, or I want to start my workshop. I know where the camera is. I just go, and the Logitech Brio is an awesome camera. I still have it here as my second camera. And as Neil said, you can like in Camo, you can use both. You can switch between the two with one click in a drop down, just see immediately the effect. I would even say it's an overkill, like an iPhone 16. Depending on what you do, I think you are more maybe talking about recording content, and maybe every pixel counts, and every detail counts. So yeah.
Yeah, John does facilitation. He hosts his community. He also does tutorial videos on YouTube. So I think if you do want to up the quality a little bit, I would recommend the 16. But like Said said, if you've got somewhere where you can put it and it's an easy place that you can just click the camera in and take it out. And if you use Camo, for example, you don't really need to get anything wired. You can just use it without wires. And so on, as provided you got decent Wi-Fi, the latency is very minimal, so it looks pretty good. Then why not? So that's pretty cool. Just real quick, Stefan has said that he's watching us drinking wine and eating cheese. I think that's a great way to spend the evening. Not watching us drinking wine and eating cheese, obviously. But thank you so much for telling us what you're up to there. It's very kind of you. Wonderful.
I don't know how to deal with it. So you need alcohol to just be able to bear this. To tolerate, exactly. I'm not sure, but I think Stefan, of course, means it in a very nice way. So
of course he does. Absolutely. Appreciate that. I would like to talk about one piece of software that you turned me on to before we go on to the next one, which is Luma. I hadn't heard anything about Luma before. And Luma has now become one of my favorite pieces of software to use, but for scheduling. And for those people who don't know what Luma is, I will try and share it now real quick. So Luma is a scheduling application. So basically, you can build a newsletter, collect email addresses, and really use it for scheduling your workshops, webinars, online events, and so on. It's a calendar scheduling platform. And the best thing about it is it's 100% free if you are, I think, is it 500 emails and above or something like that?
So
Or is it, I can't remember the actual.
yeah, there are limitations. I would call it like an event management platform. So even more than just scheduling. It's not compared to what a tidy call or what other are called, right? It's more, okay, I have an event and I want to invite people that either pay or join my workshop, live sessions, whatever, for free or paid. And the limitations, again, I don't know how people make money. But the limitations are only if I want to send out like newsletters to my list of like participants from the past. And if it's more than 500 per week, I would have to pay, or just, okay, I will not send them an email or a newsletter this week. However, I don't use the newsletter feature. I use ConvertKit.
Right. So
I don't care about this. And most of my workshops are free when I do them. So that even like the payment fee you pay, they take like 5% of every ticket you sell. I mean, good for them, of course. They offer me a great platform that makes it easy for my participants to join. But if you're just doing something like a live stream or like a demo session or webinar or I don't know, like something that's free, totally fine to use it. It saved me so much time. Because I don't need like I need like list where I have all emails that I have to go through and who said yes and who didn't. I don't know. This is just too much for my brain, and I'm using it for maybe 3 years now, and I've only paid 1 month for it because I actually needed this one feature to send out like to a very, very large group of people, and I canceled it the next month because I don't need it anymore. So I saved a lot of money. lu.ma, if you want to check it out. It's compared to Eventim, but like cooler, like the cool little cousin or something of Eventim or Eventbrite.
Yeah, I love it because it integrates with any of the platforms. I mean, I put my live streams on here as an event with a YouTube link, and that's something that Said said, why are you not doing that? I'm like, oh, I don't know. Maybe I should, because I just treated it just for events. So Luma is a great platform. And so on. And yeah, definitely recommend that. So thank you, Said, for showing that. And I think Michael sorry, I've got that person's name wrong there. Is it
Mehdi? This is my friend Mehdi.
Mehdi. All right. Yeah. So Mehdi said that you've shown in that before, which is great, and it is a great platform. So Bob says, what does Luma Streamline? Is it different to Eventbrite? I haven't used Eventbrite. Have you used it? That's an event tool as well, isn't it? Scheduling tool, I think.
Yeah. So I haven't used it either, but because I didn't like it, how it felt for me as a participant. I mean, there are all the other platforms. I signed up for a workshop I wanted to attend. I, as a participant, didn't like it. So then I saw someone using Luma. Let me try this out, because when I wanted to sign up for a workshop I wanted to join, it was like 1 click because I had a Luma account already, or it's 2 clicks. I just register or type in your email and register, and then you get the email that automatically sets the thing in your Google Calendar. So I don't even have to confirm anything. So, and from that perspective, it's not always about me. It's also, I wanted to make it easy for people, or lower the bar for people to join this thing. And if they have to click 3 things, this may be already too much for our brains in 2025. So the easier it is for them, the better it is, the higher the chances people will actually sign up, join my sessions, etc. So that's what. But I haven't. I haven't ever like set up an event in Eventbrite or Eventim or whatever the other ones are called.
Yeah.
And the fun thing, I don't know who asked, the outdoor station, I think. You can set up the same event in multiple platforms. Nobody will sue you for that.
Right.
So you can just try it out, like A/B testing, and okay, let me do the same thing and just see which one works better for me and which one works better for the participants. And also there's a lot of things like after event communication. So after the event is over, or I can send like a blast with resources and the recap and the link to the YouTube video I talked about and other things, or do a little poll or add documents to it. And I can have like different tickets for different like packages of content that you can sign up for the same event. A lot of small details. So my recommendation is it's for free, so there's nothing holding you back to not just try it out if you're interested. And your opinion is way more worth than me trying to explain it to you.
Well, I mean, I don't have the experience in Eventbrite as well, but Tatiana says that Eventbrite is not as pretty as Luma. I mean, that's one thing. It depends on the look and feel as well and what you're trying to attract. Bob also says, what about live stream events where you sell tickets and want a private stream? Do any have an advantage in additional sales to the stream? So you can do that on Luma. You can create a closed session workshop on Zoom, and it's just an invite only, for example, and you can have limited amounts of tickets, and you can do quite a few things with Luma. And what I would recommend, because we're in the advent of AI now, is basically just go into Perplexity and ask the question, what are the key differences between Eventbrite, I can't even say the word, and Luma, and it tells you all the core differences, pricing, comparison table, and all that kind of stuff. Far more interesting than me trying to explain what the differences are, who hasn't seen that app before. But Perplexity is really good for doing that, and that's a free tool, and I recommend playing with Perplexity as well, because that, gone are the days of Google search. Just go into Perplexity, and it'll give you all the sort of reasoning behind that and do all the comparisons for you. It's a super easy tool.
I always try to convince people to, it's a free tool, so I don't get paid by anyone, but that's because it helped me so much myself to get started with, I'm not even trying to sell like the workshops. I want to get out there. I want to get noticed. And I figured, this is how I get a like bigger audience through a tool like this. It helps me to manage these things that is easy for the participant. It looks like kind of attractive, and we have Eventbrite fatigue already because we have used it for such a long time. Okay, having like a new interface that looks a little bit different always helps. And I think that also like kind of it's like full circle, right? You need things that you need on camera for the event, right? And it's all the gear, maybe the tools you use, but then it's also how do I get people to attend the event?
Yeah.
How do I get like attention for my live stream, which works for a live stream? Neil does it. I do it sometimes when I do a live stream. It works for every kind of session. How can I promote it? Yeah, it makes promotion a little bit easier if you have this one link that puts like it in your calendar where you don't forget it. Otherwise, I will forget things if I don't have it in my calendar. At least that's how my brain works. And then how do I like keep in touch with the people afterwards, so that I can stay in the loop with the people who are part of my session, or like building like a small kind of community or a core group of people who are interested in my like a little fan base. Yeah. And to quote Fulgent for $3.99, right? So
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so many great tools out there, but I think Eden was saying as well about trying Luma at some point as well for her stuff. I think the fact that you can just do so much with it for free, and you taught me about follow-up emails and all kinds of fun stuff that people should be doing as well to get them sort of in that loop, because you want them keeping in your ecosystem, advertise your next webinar, see what's coming up or whatever. And this is probably a nice break to actually talk about your good self and what you have got coming up. Do you want to tell people what you've got coming up in 31 days, 12 hours, and 37 seconds from now?
No pressure at all. Thanks a lot for sharing. So I'm a little geek, and I like to share my geekiness with the people out there. If you're interested in learning how to create like engaging online sessions, or we could even use this for live streams. I focus a lot on OBS Studio, Stream Deck, using Zoom, and then there are a million other tools that are like integrated in this. So if you're interested in learning this, I'm having a masterclass week in October, right? Like 2 hours a day, 5 days that week, and afterwards you will be able to use these tools and have a totally new experience for your audience and for yourself. So everything you're seeing Neil doing right now, yeah, it's a different tool Neil is using, but it's the same, it's a similar outcome. It's just different tools, but the outcome is similar. And imagine using something like this, like in a Zoom session or in a Microsoft Teams session, if you like, or in any other virtual conferencing tool. And of course, so this is so thanks a lot for sharing that. And I also have like some free stuff. It's somewhere in my calendar, like events.thefacilitator.com, which is my Luma calendar. Haha. Where I have like a demo session for Chemo, if you like, you can join for free. Every once in a while, I add like a Luma demo session where I walk people through that, and all the other tools that are mostly for free. So if you'd like to join one of my events in the future, that's the place to go. And there are a lot of
you got a lot of events planned. And the great thing about Luma,
I don't know why.
And the thing about Luma that you mentioned as well is that on my calendar, I'm subscribed to yours. So when I go to my Luma session, then if I go to calendars here, then you pop up here, which is great. So I always get to see what Said is up to with regards to what he's scheduling. So it's a great way of sharing, collaborating, working with each other and sharing those things. And thoroughly recommend that if you're not sure about how to do proper facilitation, go and join Said's masterclass. Can I just say, by the way, I absolutely love your page. Let's just go back to that again, just real quick, because I really love the page that you've set up for your masterclass. Let me just go back, because this is so nice. I love the icons. It looks like you spend a ton of time doing this. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Can I tell you? When I finished that, like 12 hours ago. And so
really?
It's really a really nice thing that you recognize and mentioned. I had, it's one of these things that you have on your bucket list. Oh, updating my website someday, right? And then in the past like 2 weeks, I found like the courage and the inspiration. Okay, I will sit down and I will do everything myself. Again, using WordPress, which is a free tool to create your websites, and took me so many hours of trial and error, and so thanks a lot for the compliment. It took a lot of time and effort to get it somehow in this style.
Not at all. It's wonderful, because I actually saw it on the phone, and I was scrolling through and like, wow, it's so inviting. And I'm not just saying this because, Thanks. I know you and we work together.
I didn't pay you. I don't spend money, so you can trust me. I never pay Neil for anything.
There's nothing. No, this is all genuine. And I was really surprised and thought this is a wonderful website. And I just love the fonts and the colors. And as I mentioned, a couple of weeks ago, completely on brand. I knew straight away that is your masterclass, that's your website, that's your colors and branding. And I think it's so important to make sure that you are on point with that. When you get to that point of where you're actually doing this for a living, that people instantly recognize who you are.
But so again, thanks a lot. That's really made my day, and I will make a clip out of it. I think I have to clap so I remember where the cut is. But but getting there, I think I personally have a website for, I don't know, 5 years or so.
Right.
Oh, don't ask me how I get started. Okay, I have a page that has a few buttons. That's good enough to get started. Back to the original point. Right? It was good enough. I didn't invest in anything. I have something that has my face on it and like contact data so people can reach out. And then evolving from there, okay, a year later, or let me upgrade this. Maybe I will invest in one plugin that actually makes sense for my website. And okay, and then the next level. It's not something that you have to look at where people started. Go on Neil's. Sorry, Neil, for putting spotlight on you, but go on Neil's channel and then scroll until the scrolling stops, like to the very, very first video, and then you understand what I mean. Just Neil didn't start like this, right? You also had like
not at all
20 camera models in between, right?
Exactly.
And studio lights and other things. So, and that's where you have to look. Oh, this is how people started, and look where they are. Don't compare yourself to like from your starting point to where people are today, right? Yeah. This is just demotivating. Oh, I want to be the next Mr. Beast, but he's also started with something that's very, very small, without a studio, without a team.
And took
everything takes
18
time.
months or something research, right? He did 18 months research, something like that, with his friends, just studying YouTube videos all the time. I actually watched an interesting sort of news article on YouTube and what's going to happen in 2026, but I'm not going to bore everybody with that. But what I found interesting is, you know, YouTube was bought by Google in 2000 and something 5, I think, something like that. And the first YouTube video they played, it was really funny. It's the guy in the, I think he's in
the zoo.
In the zoo, that's right, pointing at elephants or something.
That's the name of the video.
Yeah, that's right. It's so funny. I mean, you know, everybody starts somewhere, and look at where we are today, broadcasting on multiple things. We are past the top of the hour, but I just wanted to ask you one last recommendation for a free tool, and I will give you my quick recommendation, which Tatiana pointed out in the chat as well. So if you've got one more, go for it.
I have one, cal.com. CAL, like calendar.com. Help me out. What's the name of the scheduling tool that everybody uses?
Calendly.
Calendly, exactly. It's like Calendly, but without all the money investment. It's totally free. It's open source. I'm using it again for at least 2 years. It has everything you need. You can integrate Stripe, so you can have like paid coaching sessions. You can for if you're doing things solo, I think it's totally free. I think only if you have like a team and you want like auto scheduling and other things, then you can invest in it. Otherwise, it's 100% free. I never had the need to pay for any of it. It's on my website. This is how people can schedule a call with me again. I want a coffee chat, or I want a consulting call, I want a coaching. There's a button on my website, including the calendar. Click on it and you can join it. So please go and check it out. It's one of my favorites, and open source and free, which is just a side effect. It's also very, very powerful, and
it's very
the
good.
things it can do. Yeah,
it's great. I mean, you told me about that, and I subscribe to Calendly as well. So yeah, but cal.com is fantastic and free. And the last one that I have that Tatiana mentioned is Notebook LM. And Notebook LM will probably need a show on its own. I have done a couple of videos already on my channel about that. So if you go, shameless plug to my YouTube channel, and go and search for Notebook LM. I recently did a video on a previous webinar that Chris Stone and myself and Martin and Fulgens did together, all about lights, cameras, and podcasts. And I thought, well, maybe there's a digestible format that people can look at. And basically, all you do in this particular case is I took my YouTube video, which was a previous live stream, you pop it into the source. If you go to notebooklm.google.com, again, it's free. You can add as many sources as you want, and then you can start asking questions and start pulling out FAQs, top line stories, pulling out the salient points, things like that. But what you can do now is you can do these video overviews. And this thing created a little video overview for me, which is basically creates slides based on the key points of the actual YouTube video. And I asked it specific questions, said just cut out the intro and the middle bits and the comments, just focus on the two speakers, and then just create me a presentation on that. And basically this video overview creates a video style presentation straight out of the YouTube link that you give it. You can give it anything and it will create this type of stuff. So for teachers, facilitators, anybody that wants to create some quick digestible content based on something that you've done that's your original, or even research papers and stuff, head over to Notebook LM and have a play around with it. We should do a show on Notebook LM if you haven't played with it before.
I've tried it, I think, because you talked about it with Martin like a while ago. You know what? It was his podcast hype. Oh, you can create a podcast with with the voice and stuff. And I tried it out. I think the only thing that frustrated me, or for my use cases, and why I haven't followed it since then, is I think there's upload limitations.
Right.
And I have like this huge file. Oh, I have a workshop that's like in 2K or whatever, and it's like 8 gigabytes. Okay, here's the limit. Okay, and now I first have to compress it in under 100 megabytes or so, or only strip out the audio. And too much for my brain at the moment. But I tried it actually, like with a small video, and it worked out great. Just saying, I don't know if there's any way to get it working with larger files and upload, then it would be super convenient for my use cases.
I'm not sure about the actual file sizes themselves, but I think it's I mean there's a limit of like 50 resources that you can add, or 50 sources to the actual thing. But I think there is a limit on the file sizes. I'm just going to put a few links in here for people.
It was pretty small, so I think it was maybe 100 megabytes. Oh, that's pretty small for video content.
Yeah, I think what it's relying on is you having it somewhere on YouTube. So technically, you could upload it to I think an unlisted YouTube link, and then you could post it there. So maybe there's a couple of things that you could do, but yeah, it's
that's
a
also
workaround.
true. Right.
It's a funny workaround, but that's what I do. I typically take sort of YouTube links and videos and things like that, and then put them in there. But yeah, we should definitely do a show on Notebook LM and just run through some workflows and see what different types of things are, because it's pretty cool.
If Martin can make it, you know where to find me. So
absolutely, maybe we'll turn this into a three-way conversation. Who knows? But it's been an absolute pleasure. I'll just post again where people can find you. So where people can find Said is go to thefacilitainer.com. Just put that link there. It should be posting in a second if my Stream Deck button works, which it does. Check out all his good content, because you got a lot of free content on there as well, and you got a lot of free workshops coming up and stuff. And the best way to sort of check out that is to go to your calendar and so on. And yeah, should be fun.
Thanks a lot. It was fun. Thanks a lot for having me. And thanks a lot for Martin for staying away today. Which give me again the opportunity. I always tell you this. I'm not a live streamer, but I'm always happy to step outside my comfort zone and do things live when I know you have everything under control, and I'm just here, to fill up the silence with some nice words every once in a while. So thanks a lot for inviting me, and hope to see you again next week, or
absolutely.
I don't know when your next stream is. I will be in the audience definitely. So
well, I'm trying to do some form of streaming on Sunday now as well, just like a chill out. Yeah. I'll work through some things. So that's a little bit later for me. I think it's at 9 o'clock my time, 10 o'clock yours. So Sunday 9 p.m. UK. But we do have something coming up soon, which I'll just quickly go to the webinar. So Martin and I do have this free webinar coming up on the 12th of September. We have registration is open. We have Lux from Stream Alive. So we're all talking about engagement, community. So Lux from Stream Alive is going to be talking about Stream Alive and how that can be used to help with audience participation, engagement, quizzes, polls, word clouds, all that fun stuff. And then we've got Katie Fawkes from Ecamm, which is the software that I use. And Ecamm's built a very wonderful community that's very sort of engaging and very vibrant. So Katie's going to talk about how she built that community and sort of what her experience is in all things marketing and stuff like that. So that is actually a week this Friday, 12th of September at 8 a.m. Eastern. I know it's early for you American folks, and 1 p.m. UK. So hopefully you can make it as well, Said. If you can't, no problem. You can catch it on the replay, but it's ready to go there.
Always try to make it live. And before everybody hangs up, please like and subscribe and do all the button clicky thingies YouTubers usually do.
YouTubers usually do.
Follow Neil and leave a like.
Thank you so much. Said, it's been an absolute pleasure you being on this show today. You're welcome back anytime. You can always join us in the Zoom room. We always have an active speaker scene ready to go for anybody who wants to join. So if you want to pop up and say something or tell us a little bit about your next class or whatever that you've got coming on, you're always welcome on this show. So again, pleasure having you. And if you want to stay in the green room for 5 minutes, I will end the show. I'll press my button. Thanks everyone for joining. Love being with you today, Said, and it's great to be at this time. I do like the vibe at this time. It's a little bit more chilled out for us Europeans. It's a little bit the evening. I can go and get a little bit of water and go to bed and fall asleep in a minute. All right, take care of yourselves. See you on Sunday and register for the webinar. Take care.